why we just got the most bullish endorsement ever on in the history of the world. No, I'm just kidding. But Jim Cramer just basically capitulated and gave up. Jim Cramer has been the most wishy-washy person when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto. I kept up with his journey when he first got introduced to Anthony Pompliano. Then it seemed like things clicked in his head. He's like, Bitcoin is the greatest thing ever. Then he said he took some profits and bought his daughter a house with the profits. Then he liked the Ethereum better. He didn't like Bitcoin anymore, but he's like, Ethereum is the greatest thing ever, right? And then he turned sour on Ethereum. And, you know, same thing with stocks. He was so bullish on Coinbase before, saying it was going to go to like $500. Then he told everyone to dump Coinbase. I mean, just nonstop. And had you listened to him, you would have lost a lot of money. Had you inversed what he said throughout his Bitcoin history, you would have made a whole bunch of money. That is why so many people are cheering this. Jim Cramer says, you know what? The truth is never too late to sell an awful position. And that's what you have if you own these so-called digital assets. He names everything from Ripple to Cardano to Polygon to Doge. And he claims that they could all go to zero. And then he spread some FUD, acting like he really knows what's going on, and says, you know what, we got to be careful because of Tether, right? And we don't know what's going to happen to Tether, and maybe it's going to cause everything to go under, right? Spreading a lot of FUD. But again, all the times he has spread FUD really about Bitcoin and crypto, had he done the opposite, you would have done really, really well. So actually, if you look on Twitter, everyone is cheering for this bottom call, basically this capitulation point, from Jim Cramer. Like literally every single person is calling how this is a good thing. So just want to start off with that. Some positive news, even though it may seem negative, but it's actually pretty positive. Fidelity last year around this time declared that Bitcoin one day may be worth $1 billion. Forget million. Million's not cool. $1 billion is cool. They declared this last year that Bitcoin can be going up to $1 billion freaking dollars each. They utilized the demand model, specifically phone adoption, and then they also utilized the stock to flow model. They kind of combined the two, and then what they did was apply inflation, because inflation obviously plays a big part. They're taking into account that inflation is going to cause the USD to basically become zero. As the USD continues to inflate, prices of everything goes up. So even though 1 billion sounds like a lot, 1 billion for Bitcoin in 20 years could be equivalent of, let's say, 1 million today, right? Because everything is becoming more expensive. Inflation continues to drive prices higher. So that's how they see it. Regardless, I don't disagree. Bitcoin is only going to become more scarce. The demand is only going to go up as more countries and citizens around the world and institutions and businesses, everyone is going to be adopting. So when you apply all this pressure, demand pressure, and the supply keeps shrinking due to the halving event and due to holders continuing to stock up and holding, right? The pressure mounts, and we're going to have an explosion. In this case, price appreciation. So just keep that in mind. Fidelity says $1 billion coming up in the next 20 years. In fact, they say about 2038. So about 26 years. And by then, the inflation rate of Bitcoin will be so low, there will be no more. There will be no more new Bitcoins coming into the space. So think about that. Regardless of what the ECB says, you have banks around the world that are starting to offer Bitcoin. There's a Swiss bank that's offering Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Polygon, and they only cater to clients with 30 billion in assets. 30 billion. How many clients out there have 30 billion in assets? That makes me wonder how you could have a successful bank only catering to people that have 30 billion plus in assets. It can't be that many, right? But then again, maybe there is a lot of shadow people with, or organizations or family office or whatever, that have 30 billion. Really strange. But anyways, now they could all start buying Bitcoin, ETH, Chainlink, and Polygon straight from this bank. A lot of you guys saw this interview today. Kevin O'Leary took on a lot of heat recently because of course, being a spokesperson for FTX. And not only that, I think the biggest problem most people have with Kevin O'Leary is the fact that after SBF did his interview, many interviews, Kevin O'Leary is still backing him, saying that he still believes in the guy and believes that, there's a chance he may be innocent and he would invest in him again. I think that's the thing that most people have a problem with, is the fact that he's still putting faith in SBF and people don't know what's going on, right? So even the CNBC people are like, how could you say that? How could you say that you're still go back the guy, right? But I'm not going to play through the whole thing. You guys could check it out yourself, right? He was asked a lot of things. He defended himself, I think, quite nicely, as good as he can. He talked about his investment in crypto, WonderFi, which is exchange in Canada. He saw the world adopting to crypto, right? So when he was asked, he took a chance on this growing exchange, and he saw enormous amount of institutional demand. That's why he decided to jump in, right? So those things kind of made sense, because beforehand, again, no one really knew what was going on inside FTX, even though he did say that he and his team did a lot of due diligence, but who just knows, right? But there's a couple things I want to play for you guys. This part right here, I'm gonna play this. This is where he was asked directly whether or not he believes SBF is guilty or innocent. Okay, again, they pressed him on this. Andrew pressed him on this, and let's take a listen.
I don't know. And I'm going to follow the path and be part of the process. I also should disclose to you that I applied for the credit committee just before midnight last night. There will only be 7 members on it. There's thousands of people that want to be on that credit committee, but I think I have a unique view from the inside out, and I think I can be helpful there as a fiduciary. I am going to drive the process if I can.
So again, he was pressed whether or not he believes Sam Bankman-Fried is guilty of everything that he's being accused of, and he still says he just doesn't know. You got to give Kevin this. He's sticking with what he said before, which is, we don't know, we need more data. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, right? He's not flip-flopping. He's sticking with his guns, right? And he may be proven right, but at this point, I just don't see how that could be. You just can't take $8 billion loss and say, we don't know where the money went. Or you can't just say, I don't know where the money went, right? There's just, yeah. But throughout this interview, I got to say, you look at his demeanor, his eyes, like I chose one point, to kind of showcase in the thumbnail. Many parts of this interview, it looked like he was about to cry. Like he was, I've never seen him like this before. Certainly not like on Shark Tank, right? So there's parts of it where you could tell he's sincere in terms of he's sorry, but he's still sticking with SBF for some reason. And then here's another clip. There's actually 2 clips. This one is talking about basically how much he invested in case you guys didn't see it. Let's take a listen.
Total deal was just under $15 million, all in, including a bunch of agents that I had to pay because I needed SAG-AFTRA release to be able to do commercials for it, and when I did that. I put about $9.7 million into crypto. I think that's what I've lost. It's all at zero. I don't know because my account got scraped a couple of weeks ago. All the data, all the coins, everything. So then I lost the money I invested in the equity as well. Those are zeros too. It was not a good investment, Andrew, okay? I don't make great investments all the time. Luckily, I make more good ones than bad ones, but that was a bad one.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay, so he took on $15 million. He put about 10 million into crypto, whatever that may be. It's lost. He put 1 million into shares of some equity shares. So that's about 11 million. So then some people are asking, well, what happened to the other 4 million? Well, in the CNBC interview, he didn't say it outright, but CNBC clarified that the 4 million left is due to agents and also taxes. Although you figure if you lost all of it, you don't have to pay taxes. So I don't know if he prepaid taxes or what, but that's how CNBC explained it. So there you go. Again, there are a couple of interviews. If you guys are interested, you can search for it easily on CNBC on YouTube. But I just want to highlight that because so many people are talking about it. But Kevin O'Leary does seem like, just look at his eyes right now. Just look at it, right? Again, throughout this interview, it just seemed like there are parts of it where he was just, he looks like he's about to cry. Honestly. You could argue he's a way better actor than SBF, that's for sure. I don't know. I don't know if he's acting or not, but there's parts that does seem like he's very sincere. But in the meantime, SBF, hired a new lawyer. He knows he's in some trouble, right? He hired a new lawyer, and this is what he's defending himself against: mishandling customer funds, which definitely happened. That has been proven, but he says he was not aware of it. Okay, so is it due to incompetency, or did he know about it? Caroline right now is in New York, right? Possibly working on a deal to put the blame on SBF. I don't know. And maybe it is all Caroline. We don't know at this point. It's definitely going to be a battle. But mishandling customer funds, wire fraud, criminal securities fraud. These are pretty serious charges. Just wire fraud is up to 20 years in prison. Just that alone. Securities fraud is 25 years in prison. Okay? And every offense of mishandling customer funds adds up to 1 year in prison. So if you add it all together, that's very, 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 very long time. This is what SBF what he tasked his new lawyer to defend him against. So definitely not a good situation. Not one bit. For those of you guys that are a fan of holding on and controlling your own crypto, I saw this. This is pretty wild. iPod creator worked with Ledger and created these stackable wallets that they look like work of art, basically. Like each one looks like a work of art. It uses the e-ink screen, so you could actually display your NFT. First of all, it could store all your crypto NFT just like all the other ledgers, but you could actually display it and it'll just stay up there literally forever because it's using e-ink, which uses very, very, very little energy. And also, you could see on the side, you can actually label it. You can have a wallet for yourself, or for your family, or for just NFTs, or just crypto, just Bitcoin, whatever. And they are made so that they stack on top of each other utilizing magnets, right? So it's really a work of art if you think about it, right? It's nothing like anything else out there. They call it stacks, and it's a little expensive, $279, but it definitely looks amazing. And it does have Bluetooth capability. Some of you guys are turned off by that, but for the most part, you can turn it off, right? You turn it off, it's still a cool wallet. But yeah, they're not shipping it out yet. It is in pre-order, but it's really, really cool. It does look like if Apple was going to create a hardware wallet, this is what it will look like, honestly. But it's not, and we don't really like Apple at this point. I'll tell you guys why, but I did want to show you guys that, and it's available for pre-order if you're interested. Nexo announces that they are departing for the United States. They basically said they can't do it. They've been working with the regulators, and they said no. So if you are in the United States, you still have crypto on Nexo, I'm sure they'll allow you to withdraw. They are voluntarily declaring that they're shutting down from the United States. So just to give you guys a heads up. crypto news. Ethereum is targeting their next upgrade in March of 2023. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed because the merge, that took forever. Like literally delayed like 5 different times, took forever. Hopefully this next one is not going to be delayed. They're setting it for March of 2023. And this is the big one that a lot of people are looking for because this one will allow people to unlock their staked Ether, which has been locked in the Beacon chain and now the main chain forever. And even the staking rewards are locked in, right? And take a look. The total ETH locked in and staked right now. I mean, it's close to 16 million ETH and continues to rise up. This right now is definitely making Ethereum deflationary. Not only deflationary, the burning is, but also just removing so much out of circulation. So overall, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Speaking of staking, Chainlink also opens up their very first staking pool, draws in 170 million worth of Link tokens, right? So this is also brand new for Chainlink and good because you have a whole bunch of Link that's locked up now for 9 to 12 months. Okay, kind of following the same footsteps of Ethereum. You can't unlock it anytime soon. It's 9 to 12 months until this next upgrade. So regardless of the time, a lot of people are staking their Link. They want to collect that interest, or not interest, rewards, and they're holding, so why not? Why not? I did talk about APE Coin. They did open up the staking, over 30 million inside, so that's fantastic. Any project, I know like Chainlink is opening up, they're staking soon. Any project that opens up staking overall is going to help them and help decentralize the project to chain and help remove liquidity from the system. So pretty positive overall for APE Coin.